Okay, hi, good evening. My name is Bill. I'm going to be doing a review on a Schrade knife. Just got it in the other day, 3 days ago maybe. It's the SCHF45, the Leroy. I bought it from Amazon, and it came in not a bad box. Everything looked pretty good. At least the box isn't beat up, none of the corners or anything, so it came in good shape. There was a few things that I noticed on it as soon as I received the box. One of the things that I noticed on it really quick was up here and in it. I'm going to try to get it in here where you guys can read it. Right about there. It says made in China. Made in China. So obviously, I know it's a mass production knife. It has certain limitations on mass production knives, but there are still some expectations, especially whenever you're buying a knife from a manufacturer's name such as Schrade or Buck or whomever. Okay, you're expecting a good quality knife. There's a few things about this whenever it came in that at first I liked, that I didn't like, and but my review isn't about the performance of the knife. It's more about how I received it and the quality of knife the very second that I opened it up. And that's kind of some of the things that I wanted to kind of review on. This is my very first video that I've ever done, so kind of be patient with me. You can laugh all you want. You can tell me whatever you want. Just please don't be real hard on me, all right? There's a few things that I noticed about, number one, the sheath. Just about everything is coming in today in Kydex. So Kydex is a real popular plastic. There's a few things that I don't like about Kydex, and I'm going to show that. But whenever I was looking at the sheath, the first thing that I did not like about this is, number one, guess what? This knife is specifically made, or actually it's the sheath is made for a right-handed person. I'm left-handed, all right? So whenever I go to draw this knife, guess what? I draw it out. It's upside down, all right? So that's not a good idea for me. But for a right-handed person, the blade comes out and it's down, all right? That's one thing. Another thing, too, is there are several little rivet holes around the knife, all the way around the knife here. Whenever I looked at them, one thing I noticed about the rivets was, let me get this box out of the way. One thing I noticed about those rivets was, I think this is the right word. If it's the wrong word, somebody will fix me. Whenever it's knurled over here, it looks really good on the front of the knife. But whenever you take it and you turn the knife around on the backside, I don't know whether or not you can see this or not, but it's not knurled over quite as well as it is on the front. So I was a little afraid of them possibly pulling out. So what I did was I went down to a local hardware store, oops, wrong pocket, and I bought some little screws and little keepers, and I'm going to put them in. I'm going to install them, if you can see them things there. But I'm going to install them into place, and hopefully they'll hold that Kydex together a little bit better to increase the longevity of the knife. That was one thing that I did not like. The other thing, too, is there's some issues in the knife in each one of these lanyard holes. They're not cleaned up very well. Pretty rough. So I'll end up taking a file, run a file down through there, just knock them off so that they don't cut, pieces of lanyard that I put through there. So that's another issue that I'm going to have to fix on this. Another thing, too, that I did not like about the Kydex, it has a Velcro keeper. Velcro, everybody's using Velcro. It's real cheap. It's real abundant. And for me, the thing that I don't like about Velcro, very, very simply, is this. If you're out in the timber, if you're out wherever, doing whatever, all right, and it's at 3 o'clock in the morning, and you want to be real quiet in everything that you do, you can't be real quiet if you need to draw your knife, and this is what you hear. That's pretty distinct, all right? So I don't like Velcro for that issue. The other thing, too, is Kydex being a plastic, it's really noisy. So whenever you go to draw the knife, this is what you get. Ugh. You get this sound, all right? That's not good if you want to be quiet. If you're in a situation where you don't want to be seen, you don't want to be found, you have to make a decision on whether or not a Kydex sheath is a good deal. Now, I carry a firearm, carry a handgun just about everywhere I go. It's Kydex. Sometimes Kydex will loosen up a little bit, and it won't be quite as noisy as it was whenever it was brand new, but it's noisy. So that was another issue. On the knife itself. The knife itself, as you know, there's what, 10,000 reviews out there about this knife and the quality of the knife. Some people say it works very well for them. Some others say that it failed almost immediately. One video I watched, somebody said that it failed within about 15 minutes of him doing whatever it was, just about right in here somewhere on the blade. The blade actually bent. There's also reports of the blades chipping, so I don't know. It's a 50-50 thing or a 60-40 thing or whatever. But there was a few things about this that I did not like. As I said, I bought this thing through Amazon. On one of the videos and one of the pictures in Amazon, it showed that just about right here, there was a lanyard hole. I like that idea of having that lanyard hole there. That way I can make a lanyard through here and through here so that you slip your hand into it and the lanyard would be across your hand, and it would be a good retention string just so that maybe the knife wouldn't come flying out of your hand. Now, one of the reasons why I bought this knife was I have 2 grandsons. They like to go hunting and fishing and camping and all that other stupid stuff, and they are just another kid, just like you and I were kids at one time. And if anything can go wrong, Murphy's Law says it will. One thing I don't want to happen is I don't want one of my grandkids to get hurt because of a stupid knife. So I thought the lanyard thing would be a good deal. It would help, to retain that knife and keep it relatively safe for them. They've been taught many, many times about safety and knives, and they understand, not to be swinging so that they can hack their leg or whatever, always swing away from themselves. They understand all that stuff, but they're still kids. And even, big adults. Supposedly, we get stupid every now and then. Next thing you know, we drop a sharp knife, and we cut ourselves. And we go, wow, that was really stupid. And this can happen on this thing, too. This knife's really heavy, and it really is. It's almost 1.5 pounds. With the sheath, it's over 1.5 pounds to carry around. So would I want to take it on a mountain hike that I'm going to be gone for a month? Probably not. Unless I'm going to be deep into the jungle. If I'm going to be deep into the jungle, I've got a jungle knife that I would use and I would take. It's made out of pieces of old spring steel. And I know that it'll survive because I've used it many, many times in the past. This thing here, though, there were some more issues that I noticed on it that I did not like. Number one, one of the other things was I noticed that the geometry on the leading edge, cutting edge of the blade was off really bad. Really bad. I don't know whether or not you can see this. I'm going to try to get it as close to the camera here as what I can. But if you look at that up here, you have 1 degree of a bevel on one side and another degree of bevel on this side, which throws off the spine of the knife. It's not down the center of the knife now. So that was an issue that I really didn't like. Another thing too was it was not sharp. This thing would not cut hot butter. It would not cut a piece of paper. It would rip up a piece of paper, but it wouldn't cut a piece of paper. Take a 2x4 down the leading edge of a 2x4 and just put it on to see if it would, bite into the wood. Piece of pine wood, it would not even bite into it. So the more I looked at it, the more I thought about it, the more I was actually going to turn around and I was going to load it back up and I was going to contact Amazon and say, I'm sending this thing back. And instead, what I decided to do is I decided to contact a manufacturer and see what they would do about some of these issues and or all of these issues. And that's what I ended up doing. So I went to the box, and on the side of the box, right here in the center, let me get it to where you can kind of see into it. There, right here in the center, it says Battlefield. All right. If you can read that, it actually says that they're out of, guess what? Columbia, Missouri. I'm northwest of Columbia, Missouri, about 100 miles maybe at the most. So I got on the telephone, did a little bit of research, and I got a telephone number for these guys, and I called them. And it actually says, let me see if I can read this darn thing. I've got my glasses off because of the reflection of the light and everything. It says, please visit our website at btibrands.com/warranty for details. So I contacted him, got on the internet here and said, hey, I can find it. Found a phone number. I called him. Said, this is what I got. Spoke to a young man for about 15 minutes, and he said, oh, right. He said, Mr. Bill, he said, this is what I need you to do. He said, I'm going to send you an email. Okay, I provided my email to him. And he said, I'm going to send you an email. He said, if you would, take 4, 5, 6 pictures and add them to the email, send them back to me, and then we'll see what we can do about this issue. I said, all right. I said, but I got a question. On Amazon, it said that there is a $20 return fee for warranty issues. And he says, well, we'll discuss that in a few minutes here. I said, all right. He sent me the email. I took some photographs, added them to the email, sent them back to him, and within 30 minutes, he calls me. And really nice young guy, obviously, like heck of a lot younger than what I am, I'm sure. And he said, Mr. Bill, this is what I got. Okay. So we looked at the photographs, determined that the issues that we have are manufacturer's issues and not warranty issues. A warranty issue is considered like a failure of a knife. Knife breaks, it bends or whatever. All right. He said that becomes a warranty issue. But in this particular case, this is a manufacturer issue. So this is brand new right out of the box. It's never been used. It's never been in the field. We can see that it's not scarred or marred. So in doing so, we're going to consider this to be a manufacturing issue, and we're going to send you out a brand new knife. I said, well, that's really great. I appreciate that a lot, So I thought, that's pretty good. I know that we're not talking about a lot of money here. We're talking, this knife cost me less than $40. And so I thought, well, that's a pretty good deal. So then I asked him the next question. What do you want me to do with this thing, okay, that I've got? He said, I don't care what you do with it. He says, you can keep it. You can throw it away. You can destroy it. All right. You can give it to someone else as a Christmas present or give it to your mother-in-law. I don't really care. He says, we don't want them back. But we are going to fix this. We're going to fix this up right. And what we're going to do is we're going to send you out a brand new one. This is Saturday. I'm waiting for the new knife to come in. It's supposed to be here on Monday. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stop this taping right now. And whenever I get the new knife, I'm going to take a look at it. And I'm going to do an add-on review of it to the first knife, so we get an idea of whether or not this is a big issue. Let's all try to understand that whenever you're dealing with mass production knives, there's no telling. All right, this knife here, if it is in fact, and I suspect that it is because the box says it is, it's made in China. Now, does that mean the box is made in China? Or does it mean that the knife is made in China? It doesn't say, nor is the knife marked anywhere. The knife simply says the SCHF45 on one side and Schrade on the other. So I don't know. I don't know where it's made at. But if it is a mass production made in China, then there's obviously some issues with that. But whenever you're buying a $38 knife or a $40 knife, you know, it's not going to be a top quality manufactured knife by a extremely reputable corporation company. One that I have a knife that's manufactured by the Randall Corporation out of Orlando, Florida. It is a hell of a knife, but it also carries a pretty good price tag, you know. So you have to decide what you're going to do. But if you're interested in quality knives, some of the mass production knives that are out there, mass producers themselves, they have knives out there that says right on them, made in the United States. I'm a retired military guy. I only did 30. So I kind of like that made in USA thing. And I kind of try to stick by that. In this particular case, I didn't even look. I saw the price. I saw what it was. I saw the size of the knife. I thought, what the hell? Let my grandsons have a big knife that they can play around in a camp and hopefully not get hurt. But did I make a good decision? I don't know. Let's find out. Whenever the next knife comes in, I'll add on to it and I'll tell you what happens. Oh, by the way, don't be real critical on me. This is my very first video that I've ever done. I'm a little older than most of you guys. I'm only 66 years old. And being my very first one, be gentle, please. You know, don't be too hard. But I will see you all later. And we'll add this thing up. My eyes keep going over to the little red button saying, Bill, you got to hit that red button to turn this damn thing off. Have a good night. Later. All right. Well, here we are. We're back again in reference to this Schrade knife and quality of knife that I received on the first knife. I just received the second knife just about an hour or so ago. Opened it up, took a look at it, and lo and behold, it's a little bit better shape, but overwhelmingly not maybe as good as what I expected. The knife is absolutely 100% identical to the first knife, with the exception of the grind. The grind is a little bit better on this knife. It is sharp, okay? I will say that. It took a little bit of hair off, right off my arms here, just a little bit. That's a good aspect. At least it appears as though it's sharp. But all the other things are all the same. Same box, same Velcro, same sheath. The rivets on this one here are basically identical to the other one. So that didn't change. You know, the rivets are not knurled over as good as I think that they should be on the backside. But again, I'll go get them little bitty screws and I'll fix this puppy. That's not a problem. I'll make it right for me. I will tell you, with this, I don't know if this is Kydex thermoplastic or how you want to identify it. I want to say it's Kydex. Somebody else said it was thermoplastic. Whatever it is, it's what it is. Can't change that. but I had one hell of a time getting this second knife out of the sheath. Thought for a second I was going to have to go get a hammer and beat on that puppy right about there. But maybe it was just because it was extremely cold, and it was cold. That was one of the reasons. And since it was brand new in the sheath, but it still is not easy to draw, and I don't think that I'm an extreme weakling, but it's pretty tough to draw it out. But I think it'll fix itself over time. If not, I'll grind it off just a little bit. Go back to the things that I had basically had concerns about. Still don't have the hole drilled in it. Thought they might fix that one, okay? Because I'd like to have really had that hole drilled in there. Now, can that hole be drilled in there? I don't know. If this is case hardened steel, it might be a little difficult to drill that hole. But it's a free knife. As I said, it is sharp. The beveling on both sides are one hell of a lot better. If you can see the beveling edges on this one here, it's a lot better. And it does appear to be pretty sharp all the way up the blade. How sharp? I don't know. I said on the first video, wouldn't cut a piece of paper. I've not tried this. All right, so whatever it is, it is. Yeah. It appears as though the edge might need to be cleaned up just a little bit. There it ripped. Okay, now I got it cut. Okay, once you get it cut started, then it will cut. So as I said, it took some hair off my arms. That was good. But to start out, it starts out as a rip. Once you get it ripped and can get a bite into it, then it will cut. So will it cut? Absolutely. Will it cut as good as I like? Absolutely not. But will it, by the time I'm done with it? Hell yeah, it will. All right. I'll sharpen that puppy up. And then I hope that my grandsons don't get hurt with the darn thing. Because now that I have two of these, and I want to thank Schrade for living up to their motto, okay, fixing the deal. They fixed it, so they sent me another knife. Man, can't complain about that too much. A buddy of mine, he has a professional grade grinder that is designed for grinding knives. It's about a $600 grinder, $700 grinder. It's a big jewel, and he's going to take that blade and he's going to grind it and fix that for me. And he guaranteed me that whenever he's done with it, that it will definitely cut hair off your arms. All right. I brought in a piece of white pine, just an old piece of white pine. All right. Will it cut into a piece of white pine? It bites. It's biting. Okay. And I'm not pushing on it. I'm just letting it kind of glide, and it bites into. And even whenever I take the bevel down close to the beveled edge, it bites in. So again, we go back, the knife is sharp. So that is good. Overall, am I satisfied with the first knife? Absolutely not. With the second knife, yes sir, I am. I'm 100% absolutely satisfied that it would probably be a good knife. How well it will stand up to use, abuse, future will tell, I guarantee, especially whenever I give that to my oldest grandson, because he's the type of a child that he could tear up a crowbar trying to open up a can of beer. And he just has that innate knack that he can tear up anything. But it is a hell of a good looking knife, and it truly is. And I hope that it lasts them their lifetime, because I damn sure hope it lasts them my lifetime. And I hope they can say thank you, Grandpa, that I got them, each one of these pretty good knives. And that is where I am at. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this. If you don't enjoy it, don't watch it. If you don't enjoy it, please don't tell me about it. Just don't watch the damn thing again. Maybe or maybe not, I'll see y'all later. This is my first video, as I said earlier. Hell, it might be my last video. You never know. Take care. Y'all be safe out there. Bye.